Batter up.
Rock and Chris, they're on the air. Yankees, Mets, they're everywhere. From the Bronx to Queens, the diamond gleams. MLB talk, the ultimate team. MLB is the place to be. Rock and Chris with the pitch you'll see. Swinging stacks and stories fly. Baseball talk that's amplified.
And welcome to a new episode of NYMLB Talk with your hosts Rob and Chris as we cover the Mets, Yankees, all of Major League Baseball. And if you're on YouTube right now, if you can hit that sub button, we'd really appreciate it. And that little bell so you know when we're coming on next. And also, if you want to follow us on Twitter or on TikTok, it's at NYMLB Talk. If you want to follow Rob, it's at R Maraska. You want to follow me at CP7NY. So, Rob, we have a very special guest. Why don't we get to him so we can get going?
Yeah, we have our super fan and a big Yankee fan. He's also my sister's father-in-law, and I've known him. I've known him forever. Dan's always been great to me because when I used to DJ with my late partner Al Piazza, Dan would be at the parties and he'd always be dancing, right, Dan?
Hey, all the time.
And we used to have
great times up there at the Old Timers Club.
Yeah, we had some great parties. So Dan's here. We're going to talk some Yankees, Mets, MLB, old time Yankees, a whole bunch of stuff. Chris, go ahead. Why don't you start it off?
All right. Anyway, Dan, welcome. It's great to have you on. I know we had you on quick with John D'Acquisto with the question, but thank you for coming on. This has been really great because you've been one of our, I don't want to say fans, but one of our listeners. Like every week, you're on the show. You may not be on the show, but you're in the comment section commenting, helping us out. I think it's been great, and thank you for coming on, and we really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So, Dan, I mean, we finally had a bad outing pitching wise. Well, the bullpen at least, right? Fried was amazing again. He's been great. Well, what do you think of yesterday's game? How it ended? I was a little frustrated at the end.
I was frustrated too, especially watching Giancarlo Stanton just look at that. Maybe he was looking for a different pitch or whatever, but it was right that you could. That's the kind of ball he probably sent to the moon if he was ready for him.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. I really thought he was going to crush that pitcher too, because a lot of those sliders were hanging over the plate, and I was like, man, this is the kind of pitcher that Stanton is going to crush. But unfortunately, didn't. Jazz got a big double, drove in a couple of runs at the end. Maybe that kickstart him because he's one of the many guys on the team, unfortunately, that have not been hitting right. Like it seems like the bottom half of that order is really bad, right? Jazz, Austin Wells, the shortstop,
McMahon.
Man, has been
you're right, Chris.
Him, I'm really concerned. Jazz, I'm not concerned. Jazz is going to be fine. He'll get going. He's a little bit of an airhead sometimes, but McMahon I'm really concerned about because he looks. I mean, he's never been really a great hitter. He's just been really bad this year, worse than years past. So.
You gotta love Rice. He strikes out 3 times, and the next thing you know, he's hitting a home run, a double. I mean, he's. I'm not worried about Rice striking out. Believe me, because he'll get it. He'll get it also. But I love Stanton. Stanton he's been amazing so far this year. He really has. He only got the 1 home run, but the hits that he gets. It's unbelievable. I mean, they're lasers.
He did the ball yesterday with his with his base hit. He hit it so hard he couldn't even get to second. Right?
I know.
But, no, hey, listen. With Stanton, we know as long as he stays healthy, he's fine, right? I mean, if he stays healthy, he's a hitting machine, that guy, home run wise and stuff. So, yeah, I think they'll be all right. I think they'll bounce.
I think so too. My biggest thing, Chris, is that I'm glad they signed Bellinger.
Yeah.
I mean, that catch the other day
I saw
off the heel of his glove. It's amazing. He's,
I don't think he knows how he caught that.
I don't think so. And even last year when he caught that the shoot top fly ball and threw the guy out at first for a double play. I mean, this guy, I'm just so glad they got him back this year and for the 5 years. But like you always say, who knows what one year is going to lead into another? You don't know. But I'm just glad that he's back for myself.
I tell you, my one issue yesterday was after this 6th inning Fried pitching, he should have just came out. They shouldn't have brought him back out to start the 7th. They should have started with a reliever in that 7th inning. If they were only going to give him one out anyway, right? Just bring in a guy fresh in that inning instead of letting Fried pitch in, like another batter or two. I would have rather, to be honest, I was saying they should have brought in like Yarbrough in to kind of save the bullpen because he could give you 2 innings, maybe even 3. He could finish out the game. But anyway, listen, we still won the series. That's all I'm worried about. 2 out of 3.
That's it.
And even the Mets go. Let's get Rob here. The Mets even won a series, right? They pretty good out in San Fran. Rob, give us that report, man. How'd they do?
Well, Chris, before we get to that, the reason the bullpen blew it yesterday was because they didn't have Weaver or Williams there.
Yeah, right. So, because they usually blow it for us.
So that's where the Mets, I have to say, the 3 Yankees on the staff, Holmes, Williams, and Weaver, are all pitching are excellent right now. So I was worried about Williams. We know that, but he looks like everything looks all right now. Yeah, the Mets took 3 out of 4 from the Giants. The key is because they started hitting again. All right. They weren't leaving runners in scoring position. People are starting to hit. And the pitching's been really good so far this year. It's just we know that the Mets are leaving runners in scoring position. And Armand is right. Okay, we know that. And they showed it against the Yankees and they showed it against the Mets. But that doesn't matter because the Mets lost the first game of that series because they couldn't score runs. It looks like the bats are starting to go. And it's weird that the bats are starting to go now that Soto is injured and he's out, right? He was the only one hitting, and he was hitting. Now he's on the 10-day IL. His right
he is.
Yeah, he has a right calf strain. He's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. But if they keep going like this, Chris, it doesn't matter. He could rest and get better. As long as these guys
start. Never gets hurt. Soto plays every game, every season, right? I mean, I don't think he's ever been on the IL.
And one of the keys is your guy, Chris Vientos. All of a sudden, that guy's bat is hot. And the guy's hitting everything. He's batting .476. Okay, Robert Jr. is batting .333, so he's hitting. And Semien started, his bat woke up a little during this series. So, yeah, the Giants aren't very good, but at least the Mets bats woke up. So it was a good series. We'll see what happens when Arizona comes into Citi Field this week. The game, they changed the times on 2 of the games to 4 p.m., because the night games, because it's going to be cold. So, that they haven't really been they didn't do that much in past years, but I guess now they all of a sudden care about the
free tickets too to some of the games, right? A limited amount of free tickets. That's
so all of a sudden, yes, and Armand's right. Mauricio got called up, so I guess they didn't want to bring Tommy Stan
too in AAA, right, Mauricio?
Yes.
So let's see. I mean, maybe this is his big opportunity to to come up and do something. The one guy that hasn't been hitting that I'm not worried about it, but I mean Bichette, right? Like what's going on with Bichette?
I know he had a couple of hits on Saturday, but yesterday he had an over. He's playing a new position. I mean, all right, he's a major leaguer. That's no excuse, but it's gonna take time for these guys to gel. As long as they're starting to hit and not leaving these runners on base, I don't care who hits. It could be Vientos could carry him for all I care, as long as they win. And Chris, I gotta give you credit. You made that call all winter. You were saying, I think Vientos is going to have a good year, and it's only the first week, but so far so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dan.
No, I'm just saying about Bo Bichette there. You think he's trying too hard or pressing or trying?
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah.
Probably is. Listen,
Yeah.
Listen,
We
new
could-
team, new city, right?
Yeah.
He wants to show, like, hey, I'm worth whatever they paid. What would they pay? $40 million a year, right? For
Yeah.
this guy.
Yeah, of course.
And plus, listen, he's basically playing for a contract again because he's probably going to opt out after this season, right?
Yeah.
So if he opts out, that means he has to have a big year this year and go into next offseason, with this huge year, and then he'll get paid again. And that's what he wants to do. So I think he's just, putting a little too much pressure on himself instead of just playing the game, right? Just play the game. The guy's like a 290 something career hitter. So the guy's going to hit. It's just a matter of time. He just got to just relax and just be like, all right, you know what? Maybe without Soto there, maybe that'll make him concentrate more, or I don't know. But you never know. Sometimes that turns it on for a player, but we'll see.
You're right. And a couple other quick Met notes, and then we'll get back to the Yankees. Although, Chris, could you get that one Oriole picture ready before we get into the Yankee stuff with Dan?
I don't know if Dan wants to see it, but
I gotta say something.
I'm going to warn you, Dan, ahead of time. So
I gotta say something about this. But September 19th, Carlos Beltran's going to enter the Mets Hall of Fame, and his number 15 is going to be retired. We know that he's going to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame a couple of weeks before that. So, of course, the Mets have to retire his number. You wear a team's cap in the Hall of Fame, they got to retire your number. Did you get that picture?
Yeah, I'm ready. You want me? All right, Dan.
Put it up.
Dan, I'm not going to put it up for too long because it's
okay. Good. All right. What is that? Like, okay, Chris, why are the Orioles posting that picture when, first of all, they lost the series again? They got swept by the Pirates, right?
By Pittsburgh. And you're talking bad about the Yankees? I don't know if that's a good
what
idea.
is that? You guys, I don't know. That's fighting words right there, Chris. You can take it off now.
Wait till they get into Yankee Stadium. Let's go. We'll let them know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why are they putting that an arm on his laughing? Yeah. Let's talk real quick about them. Do you think Pete Alonso is putting too much pressure on himself?
Yeah, I told you. I had said that earlier to you guys. I thought, with the American League pitching and everything else, and I think he is putting too much pressure on himself. That's the way I feel. Yeah.
He's only batting .229 with 1 home run and 3 RBI. So,
yeah.
But the Orioles fans wait until they at least play the Yankees before they put that stuff up. And why do you put it up like when you're getting swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Well, here, I'm going to show you something, and this has something to do with a guy on our team as well. So I just want to show you this. This is the last 3 years bat speed that has gone down for a player, right?
Okay.
The most, right? Now, Pete Alonso is one of the top guys that his bat speed has gone down, has decreased. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just show. Here we go. All right. I don't know if you guys could see that. Pete Alonso has the ninth most bat speed decline over the last 3 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Well,
unfortunately, McMahon is up there too, but he was never that good to begin with. So I don't know if that's right. But look who else on there.
Really.
Jeff McNeil, former Met. He's second, right? So his bat speed has dropped a lot over these last couple of years. So I find it interesting with Alonso, but it also kind of makes sense now that nobody else other than Baltimore really offered him a contract this past offseason. The year before, only I think it was Toronto, right, that offered him any kind of a contract. So it kind of makes sense now that these teams were staying away from Alonso, maybe, and the Mets too. Like maybe it wasn't just that they insulted him or he got insulted or whatever.
The Mets got insulted.
Right. So maybe this and that had something to do with them saying, you know what, we're not going to give you another contract.
Did you? Yes, we were. What? Next time, put F Soto, please.
Yeah.
But we were gonna bring that up real quick, right, Chris?
Yeah. I think. Listen, to get to that, there's always a small group of fans. I mean, for the last 8 years, we've been hearing F. Altuve at the stadium, even when he's not even playing. And I'm like, it's over, it's done. There's no reason to be saying that anymore, right? But there's always going to be a small group of fans that are just whatever they are. You know, I can't, you can't help that. And now it's the Soto thing. And listen, Soto is going to get crushed again when he comes back to the Bronx, right?
Of course. No doubt.
The fans knew they got under his skin the last time, so they know, right? Once you show, and Dan knows because he's seen so many players. Once the fan knows that they could get under your skin, they're going to continue to do it. So but at least Soto mentally knows. All right, they're going to boo the heck out of me. They're going to say everything bad or whatever. So I expect it. So
exactly. And Joe Dell thinks Dan looks like Ric Flair. Okay.
Ric Flair. Okay.
All right. Anyway, so let's get into some old time Yankees. Let's get into some old time Yankees with Dan. I'll start it off, and then Chris, you take it over. Okay, I know the answer because I saw the back of the jersey. But who's your all-time favorite New York Yankee player?
Of course, it had to be Mickey Mantle, and I'll tell you why. This is a guy who, you talk about these guys who has a strain here, a strain there. This guy played baseball with his legs wrapped in ace bandages, and he was just, he hit a ball out of Briggs Stadium, which is the old Detroit Stadium. And they found it like 2 or 3 blocks away. I mean, the guy was pure power. He was struck out a lot, yes, but when he hit him, boy, he hit him. He was just. He was my favorite Yankee, but I also as a kid, you're talking, I was 10 years old and I played first base and I loved Moose Gowan. Moose Gowan was one of the toughest hitters you could hit him. You see how Giancarlo Stanton hits him into the left center field? Moose Gowan used to put him out there all the time. He was really a good hitter and a good first baseman. So, I just, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a quick note. When you brought up Moose, if you remember, Butch Patrick, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago, that's his brother's godfather. So that's
really?
Yes. He talked about that when he was on Butch Patrick, who played Eddie Munster. That's his brother's godfather. So that's pretty cool. Go ahead, Dan.
No, like I said, I just, I had so much things in 56 when I was really a Yankee fan in 55, but I never got to a ball game till 1956. In 1956, I used to go with my 3 uncles, and we would go over to old Yankee Stadium. The best part is, you get on, how much was the bus ride from Jersey City, where it was, to Port Authority? 15 cents.
Wow.
Was the bus ride. Second, then we had to take the subway. We'd walk to the subway, get down, catch the A train, another 15 cents. And then we went all the way up to then I got off at 52nd Street, and we went to the Double D. We had to pick the Double D train up, and take that all the way up to the Yankee Stadium where the Big L was. If you remember the old stadium where that, and then walk down and get and go to the. We went on the grandstand when I, when I was with my uncles and we went on the grandstand. It was the seat was $1.25. Yeah, in the grand up at it was at the third deck, but it was $1.25, and your hot dog 25 cents. Yes, with a drink 25 cents also, and then you had the only thing that was really expensive was Cracker Jacks. They were 23 cents. But it was but it was just a great time. I enjoyed just going there. And then one year, see, my one uncle lived in Arkansas, and he would come up every year to see my grandmother, and we wanted to go to Yankee Stadium. So me and my other two uncles, we went to Yankee Stadium with them, and we went out to the center field. One day we finally did get out to center field, and we did see Ruth, Garrett, and Miller Huggins. And it was just a thrill. Like I say, a 10-year-old guy, I was thrilled. I tell you, more than anything else.
Wow.
And I was fortunate enough to be in all three Yankee stadiums. So, I've been to the old one, the one they remodeled, and the new one. So I'm very lucky, and I just enjoy it. I really enjoy the Yankees, and that's where it was. I mean,
which one of the stadiums do you like the most?
I'll be honest with you. I think I like the new one. I'll be honest with you. The new one is really beautiful, but the one that they refurbished was very nice also. But the old one, if you got stuck behind one of those stanchions that you're looking around, looking this way, looking that way, see what the hell, what happened, But it was good, and I just enjoyed the players. You had players like second base. Gil McDougall started at second base, but then he went to shortstop when Bobby Richardson came in. Bobby Richardson was a great fielder. He was a very good fielder, and then you had at that one time I had Andy Carey, who played for the Yankees third base. And then he got retired by Cletus Boyer. Cletus Boyer played third base then, But I just enjoyed. I enjoyed the and then you had, like I said, you had then you had Hank Bauer in right field. You had Mickey Mantle in center, and Johnny Blanchard would play left, but he was also catcher, and he played left field. I was at a game one time, and we were up in the left field grandstands, and they was sitting there watching the game, and there's these two twin brothers. All of a sudden, they had a brown paper bag. They started taking lemons out of the paper bag and throwing them at Johnny Blanchard. And yelling, you're cursing at them and throwing them. Being a kid, we were hysterical. We were these people. I said that. Oh.
All right, Joe Dell. Did you get to see Babe Ruth pitch like Rob did? Very good.
Wow.
Go ahead, Chris. You want to ask Dan something?
Yeah. Well, all right. All these years, which team was the one that you enjoyed watching the most?
I have to say, don't forget they played the Dodgers a lot and beat them a lot.
Yes.
Which made me happy, except for 55. But I have to say, growing up and we didn't. Television was, I get home from school and turn the TV on. They already be in like the fifth, sixth inning already, and I watched the one game of Don Larson's perfect game, and I have to say, and the catch that Mickey Mantle made in left center field saved his perfect game, and I thought it was and it wasn't. Larson was not a great pitcher. He wasn't really like a 20 win pitcher. If he won 18, 19 games with the Yankees, I think it was a lot, you know. But that day he was just on, and he was unbelievable. I really, like I said, I really enjoyed it. You know?
Hey, he did something no one ever did, a perfect game in a
Probably
World
never
Series.
will again, right?
Yeah.
Especially with how the game is played now.
Yes, not the way. Yeah, you're right.
How many complete games are we going to see? You know, even during the regular season, let alone in a World Series game. So, but yeah, that's pretty amazing. I'll say quickly, my favorite team to watch. The easiest one, obviously, the '98 team was like, they were on cruise control all season. You were nervous probably going into the Indians game, right? When El Duque had to pitch, right? I think we were down 2-0, and he came into, he started the game, and he pitched great, and that kind of the momentum was switched there. But other than that, that whole season, I mean, it was like, they're going to win. They won 120 games or whatever. So
they were unbelievable. They really were,
right? Because they weren't the favorite to win. And then, to beat the Braves after going down 2-0, you had to sweep them in Atlanta to get back into the series. It was just great. I mean, that was my favorite team.
Hey, Chris, how come you're not going to ask me what my favorite Yankee team is?
Definitely not the 2001, right?
And,
so that one,
any Yankee team that played in the late 60s and early 70s. That was my favorite Yankee team when CBS owned them.
Right.
Dan,
Dan can tell us that we actually had some bad times, Dan, right? As Yankees.
Yeah, we did. CBS owned them, and you had a second baseman called Horace Clark, and they second baseman I've seen play, but that's what it is. Then CBS did, like you're right, they just doesn't want to spend the money. Steinbrenner came along, and and I tell you, everybody criticizes Steinbrenner, but he wanted a winner, and he would make sure they won. I liked George Steinbrenner. I really did. I have to say.
What about you?
About you, Chris?
Yeah, listen, hey, he had his flaws, obviously, early on. I wasn't a big fan of him during the 80s, right? Because he didn't really give these kids a chance. Any prospects we had, he never gave them a chance. It was always like, all right, trade them. Let's bring in some guy that, that was at the end of their career. They came here, and usually bombed out. But like you said, he just wanted to win. And I think until he let the baseball people kind of make the decisions, right? When Gene Michael was in charge, after Steinbrenner had to go away for a couple of years, right? When he got suspended. But and then when he came back, that's when I really appreciated him, because he just kind of like, all right, let's let these guys, let's see how they do, right? Like he gave the young prospects a chance, and that's why we had Jeter, Bernie, Pettit, Posada, all these great guys.
All those great guys. They were unbelievable.
And thank God it was Bernie, right? Bernie was the first one that they brought up. I mean, he, right? He was the first guy they brought up, and thank God he worked out, because if he didn't, maybe, Steinbrenner would have been like, all right, see, I told you these prospects can't win here. So they would have traded all of them. And but thank God it all worked out the way it did.
It really did.
I have a question for Dan, if that's all right. Dan, when Thurman Munson died, do you remember where you were? Do you remember hearing the news?
Yes. When Thurman Munson died, that was what, 77?
79, right, Chris?
9, okay.
It was, 79.
79. Yeah, 79. I was. Let's see. I did hear it. I did see it on the. I did see the TV news on that one. And it just broke my heart. I mean, geez, that guy was he was a great ball player. He could have been even. If he kept playing, he would have been in the Hall of Fame without a doubt. That's the way I feel about him.
Chris, do you remember where you were, Chris, or when you heard that news?
Yeah, I was 7. I don't really remember too much, to be honest. I remember talking about it, but to specifically no. But but yeah, August 1st, 1979 was.
Yeah, I remember because I was actually down the shore when that came on.
Oh
So
man, yeah. I just saw it on the news and TV on TV back
yeah,
then.
another like you said, he probably would he would have been in the Hall of Fame if he
He
played.
probably should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Even with the shortened career. I mean, he was 32 already when it
Yeah,
happened. Not that that's old, but you know, he already had a nice 10, 11-year career that was pretty substantial even for that short period of time. But
Right.
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, one of those great Yankees. What's great is they still have the locker set up at Yankee Stadium, right, in the Yankee Museum, so people could still see it. You know, it was never touched after he after he tragically passed away in the plane accident. But I love that they kind of saved it, you know, in its original. They didn't touch it. They moved it over from the old stadium into the new stadium,
mm.
into the museum. So that's pretty cool.
Go ahead, Chris. Well, wait, Dan, you wanted to tell us a Yogi Berra story, right?
Oh yeah.
We got
It
it.
was, this is 1959. Okay, the White Sox. Matter of fact, the White Sox won the pennant that year, and they played the Dodgers, and the Dodgers won the World Series. Now, but 4 games to 2. But they were in. Whitey Ford and Yogi were being interviewed, and they said, "So what? So tell us the four pitched story." He said, "Well," he says, "Okay." He said, Whitey Ford says, Louis Aparicio got up. He was a shortstop for the White Sox, and he says he bunts and he gets on first base. The next guy up is I forgot the guy's name, but he gets on there with an error. Okay, yeah, that's 2 pitches. All of a sudden, the third guy gets up, Minnie Minoso. He was an outfielder for them,
Yeah.
also Minnie Minoso. He gets hit by a pitch. Now the bases are loaded, and all of a sudden, you know, Casey Stanley comes out of the dugout and he says, "So tell me," he says, Yogi goes out to the mound with him. He says, "So Yogi, tell me, what do you think he's got?" He says, "How do I know? I didn't catch any. I haven't caught one ball yet." Yeah,
Yeah, that's typical Yogi.
Yeah.
that was good. It was really funny.
Gotta
But
love Yogi.
oh yeah, you had to love him. But Yogiism, he was great. But
Definitely.
I gotta say, I also have the story about Gil McDougall hitting Herb Score in the eye with a line drive, and he was never the same again. Herb Score, and I think McDougall was so shattered by it also for a while. But
Sure.
that's the way it was. Yeah. But what gets me today, like today's, they get the game has changed so much since I was a kid. Let me tell you, and it bothers me to see a pitcher only go 5 innings. Oh, where get him out now?
Right.
And nobody, yeah. You had Vern Moore for the Pittsburgh Pirates pitch a 12-inning perfect game.
Yep.
And he lost the
Yeah.
game. 12 innings the guy pitched.
Yep.
And he lost the game. It was just a different type of ball.
Yeah,
Game.
it definitely was. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I absolutely. I think and now with the pitchers only going to 5 innings, it's like we're never going to see, we're hardly going to see a 20-game winner is going to be very rare going, in the future now. We're not going to see 300-game winners are done, right? We're never going to see
Done.
that.
That's gone.
So it's like, how are they going to elect guys to go into the Hall of Fame as starting pitchers? Like DeGrom is going to have, he's got what, three Cy Youngs, but he's got what, 100 wins in his career?
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy. Like Dan, and I even got to see the great part of baseball then too, because I'm older than Chris, so I got to see it. Not like you, but at least I remember. I remember the '70s and stuff. Could you imagine if they tried to take, like we were talking about him before, Bob Gibson out of a game in the 5th inning, and he's pitching a no-hitter? Could you imagine?
No, I think he would.
Not at all.
I think he would have assaulted somebody who came up to the mound and said, "You come
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't think a manager would be.
John would know that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think a manager would have been tough enough to go up to Bob Gibson and say, "All right, you're out of the game." Like, I'd hate to be his manager, even if he was having a bad game, to go out there to take him out. I would want to do. I'd send the pitching coach out.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, the other night I was thinking about it. McLean was pitching for the Mets, and he was pitched 4 perfect innings, right? So I'm saying to myself, and so in the booth they're saying, well, he's probably going to go another inning, and I'm saying to myself, could you imagine? He hasn't even given up a hit yet, and they're already talking about taking him out of the game. How much the game changed?
It's changed. It really is. It's sad. The way I look at it, it's sad. But it is what it is. The Ghost Runner. Oh, forget that thing. That is. It's unspeakable for me. I'm telling you.
I don't think there's a person out there that likes the Ghost Runner, right?
No.
At this point. No. It's something that they should get rid of, but I don't think they'll ever get rid of, because right now, I mean, all the changes that were made to the game are actually positives, right? The pitch clock, as much as I hate having a pitch clock, it's been great because it just, the pace of the game is so much better now than it was for a while, right? I mean, it was starting to slow down way too much. I love the ABS. Well, what do you think of that with the ABS system now?
With the strike.
You know what? I do like it. I do like that. I have to say, but the managers don't like it. I don't know that. Imagine Billy Martin can't say 2 words. He'd be out there kicking dirt on everybody.
It's true. He can't even challenge, right? It's only the catcher and the hitter. That's it.
Catcher and the hitter. Yep.
It's kind of funny. You're right. A guy
but
like
I tell you.
Oh my God, he would be. I to be honest, I would love to see him if he could come back from the dead just for 1 game. I would love to see him in the dugout, just like, because he can't. Like you said, he can't do anything. He's like,
he couldn't do nothing,
right?
I used to love when he used to go out there and kick dirt on the umpire. He could give a hell less if he got kicked out of the game or not. He wanted to make his point, and I just sit there like and laugh. Sure. Yeah, he did. That's for sure.
And Dan, you got to see when Casey was manager too.
Oh yes. Casey Stengel was the old professor. Yeah, definitely. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Casey Stengel. That's what I was telling you about the story with even after the mound. But that was that's true. That's true. He just said, but you know what? You'd never see. Yeah, when I used to watch, they shot the thing into the dugout to look at him. He would be as calm as hell, calm as anything. But he had the players. I mean, it was unbelievable. He
had all those great Yankees, right, Chris? Yes. It's sort of like Joe Torre too, really.
Yeah.
They had this great roster. I mean, almost like they couldn't mess it up, right? It was just a matter of finding the right lineup and who bats first, second, third. That was about it.
Exactly.
You just sit back on the bench and just let these guys play because they were that good.
And it's funny because Joe Torre went from, they used to call him Clueless Joe, with not so much with the Mets, but with the Braves and managing the Cardinals. He went from Clueless Joe to Hall of Fame.
All right. Yeah, there you go. That's how clueless he was. That was on. Again, he had the players. He had the players with the Yankees. I'll tell you. I mean, you got Jeter. You got Posada. You had Mariano coming out of the pen. I mean, you had you had such great pitching and hitters, Andy Pettit and all. He had, you know, but he knew how to work these guys, and that's what was good about him, you know.
And you know what? A lot of these younger fans don't realize like how great of a feeling it was to have Mariano at the end of the game. Like the
Oh,
confidence. Like now, like even Bednar, he's pretty good, but he's going to give us a heart attack all season, right? Like he
yeah,
picks
yeah,
up
yeah.
a couple of guys, he gets guys on base, a guy, a runner scores, and he just makes things interesting. I don't like that. I like when Rivera was out there. 1, 2, 3, right? It was done. No problems, right?
Unbelievable.
Oh,
And it's funny. My wife showed me a thing about Mariano Rivera when he was in Panama, when he was young, a kid before he get to the big leagues. He had a baseball glove. It was made out of cardboard.
Yeah.
there you
Out
go.
of cardboard, and they put it on, and
Imagine,
here,
right?
imagine. I said to
From
him,
there.
and here's a guy who was the best reliever ever. I mean, that, and he started with a cardboard baseball glove.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Unbelievable.
So, all right, Dan,
yeah.
we'll actually quick. Give us your best Yankee, or not your best, your favorite Yankee at each position.
Okay. Let me see. Well, the old time Yankees, or does it matter?
It
Anybody
doesn't matter.
from the time you
Doesn't
started
matter.
watching to now.
Okay.
Start with catcher. Let's start with catcher.
Oh, of course, you had to have and Nelson Howard. Yogi and Nelson Howard were very good kids. They were a good. They were very good. You know,
First base.
uh, first base. Again, I got to go with Moose Gowan. Second base, I go with Bobby Richardson. There's a story about Bobby Richardson when they played the Giants. Willie McCovey hit a shot. Well, I thought he was going to send, and he caught it on a line drive. I thought Richardson was going into the right field stands. That's how hard he hit it, and they caught it. I said, "Wow!" My shortstop, I would have to go with Derek Jeter, definitely. And my third baseman. I don't know if you ever saw Cletus Boyer play, but
I know.
Cletus Boyer was a glove and a half. He really was really good. He was fantastic. Of course, center field, you had Mickey Mantle, and I got to say left field, I've got to go Bellinger. Left field.
Wow.
Right field, you've got Judge out there, so that's what I'm. That's what I'm really looking. That would be my people.
Now, who would be your starting pitcher? Game 1 of the World Series. Who would you want?
Well, I'll tell you, the Yankees had a pitcher called Bob Turley, and he would call Bullet Bob Turley. Had a fastball that was unbelievable, and I would like to see him go out there. And also, you have to say, I'd like to see what I'm trying to think of his name. There goes the brain again.
That's okay.
I'm with you.
That's all right. But the Gator,
Oh, Ron Guidry, yeah.
Guidry.
Thank you. Yeah, that guy, he was unreal. That's who I would start. Ron Guidry.
And you know what? With Guidry, he's a guy. Just look at his body, right? He wasn't a big guy, thin, right? And that guy could throw like 275 innings, throw a complete game. No problems, right? These guys are built like, they're huge, some of these pitchers, right? Oh, but wait, after 5 innings, 100 pitches. Whoa.
But that's their problem. They're too built. I think they're too built up. They are too bulky.
Yeah.
And too built up. So you all of a sudden they throw a pitch and the next thing, oh my God, my shoulder went.
Right.
Oh my God. Because they're too bulky today.
True.
That's what I think,
And they did, yeah. He had 2 nicknames. He also was Louisiana Lightning, right?
Right, Louisiana Lightning. Yep. Yeah.
So fast, Chris. Real fast. What Okay, let go through yours since Dan go through yours fast.
All
starting
right.
with first base.
Catcher, listen, I don't remember Munson that much. But I'll go with all right. We'll go with Munson. That's an easy one. First base for me, as much as that we've had a nice run of first basemen with the Yankees. Donnie Baseball is still my guy at first base.
Oh yeah.
Second base, Willie Randolph. Loved watching him. He's the reason why I started playing second base in Little League. Shortstop, of course, just like you, I'll go with Jeter. Third base, probably Nettles, right? I mean, just a great glove at third.
Yeah.
There. Outfield, I hate to not put Judge out there because I love O'Neill so much. Okay. He was probably my favorite player back in the day. So I'm going to put O'Neill in right. I'll put Bernie in center. Left field, I'll put Brett Gardner. Loved Brett Gardner, And starting pitcher, see, that's a tough one because I grew up with Guidry. I think Pettit, just because he was there for all the World Series, always had those clutch wins when we needed him. So I'll go with Pettit, and obviously, Rivera as the closer. I mean, everybody would pick him.
I'm shocked. Neither one of you guys picked Soto for right field.
Yeah. No. You know why?
Yeah, but he's a Met.
We have so many other better players. That's why we don't have to pick him.
Okay. Oh man, that's too funny.
Oh, I'll tell you. It's unreal. I'll tell you. But
yeah, Dan, it's great that you got to and Yogi too. You got to see Yogi. You got to see Yogi manage and catch. And I mean, both New York teams. Yogi was great. On for both teams, of course, as a manager, but it's just and the Yogiisms are the best. I mean,
I'll tell you, that was how do I know he said this? You only
He was really he's one of those guys that you could say was a one of a kind, right?
Yes.
Nobody like Yogi.
Without a doubt.
Yogi is he's in a separate category in every step, in every way. He was just one of those guys that you just can't keep comparing him to somebody else.
It's like it ain't over till it's over. That, of course, he said
exactly.
But I love when he said it's deja vu all over again. That's Yogiism.
But sometimes it is, right? Unfortunately, for both our teams, we all have PTSD when it comes to our teams. I'm sure Rob is going through it. Oh yeah, we looked good this weekend, but the Giants really stink. So maybe that's why. But
see, but Chris,
you can't see on any given day. Any given day,
just get to the playoffs. That's all I say. Just
exactly.
That's the good thing about baseball as compared to the other sports is any team on any day, the worst team could beat the best team in baseball on any given day, right?
Look with Colorado Rockies. I mean, what did they with the Toronto and all that? Toronto is
you never know, especially early in the season. See it right in April. Crazy stuff happens in April anyway.
Exactly.
So it's going to happen until these teams start to mold and start to gel as a team and everything. There's going to be some rough patches for some of these teams, right? Until they gel. So right now, I don't buy anybody like Pittsburgh. Yeah, they're playing great and good for them, but who knows? In another month or two, we might see a different team. We might be like, yep, that's Pittsburgh. They're next to last in that division.
Yeah. So, listen, we also saw how bad Pittsburgh could play too in the first game against the Mets.
Exactly.
And anything could happen.
Exactly.
Hey, Rob. Just a question to you. I know Chris is in Long Island, but did you ever get to the Yogi Berra Museum
in Montclair? Not yet.
In Montclair.
No. Not yet.
If you ever have to go, there's a place to go. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
I've been there. I've been there 2 or 3 times. It's really great. It really is.
Definitely like to check it out. Chris should go one day.
I definitely. Hey, I'm ready to go. I've been. That's one of those places I've been wanting to go. I've been to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown probably like 10 times now over the years, and I love going. I could go there every weekend if I lived near it. I would be there every weekend because there's so much in there, and like you every time you're there, you see something different, or you read something, or you learn something different. So I love going.
That's true. Yeah.
Dan, you said, of course, you've been to all 3 Yankee stadiums, and you said you like the new one. I mean, it's modern and all that stuff, but it's still not the house that Ruth built. And we've talked about this before. It doesn't have that same feeling, though, right? I guess you need to play.
You're right. I was just talking about the way the field is and all, but you're right. The old stadium was amazing. It really was. Like I said, you talk about. I love when you talk about the food, the number 9. They say this is $60 and $70. Got a hot dog for a quarter. I mean, and then you got this. I'll get a soda for a quarter. And like I said to you earlier, the Cracker Jacks was the highest. The highest. I think it was 23 cents.
I think Joe Dell wants to know what the best years for the food at Yankee Stadium were. What do you think? I would say the prices, right, Dan?
Sure, without a doubt. But when we were kids, like I went then a few times we went with my friends. We'd go to take the bus to Yankee to Port Authority, didn't take the train. But what had happened is that we worked. We had to work. I worked delivering bread, and keeping the money, and then make sure we all could go. Everybody, all our friends worked. And as we worked, we saved the money, and we went to Yankee Stadium. And the best part also, I forgot to tell you guys, never mind the $1.25 seats. You should have went to the bleachers, 50 cents.
Yeah, that's right. And I sat in the bleachers at Yankee Stadium a couple of times. I used to actually go for free because my father with the record, so we would get to Shea and Yankee Stadium. So I went. Listen, any game I could have went to as a kid, even though I was not a Yankee fan, I would go to the game. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. But another thing, that you guys haven't mentioned, you got to hear the voice of Yankee Stadium, Bob Shepard.
Yeah. Bob Shepard. That was the voice of it. Yes, and also when we talk about the voice of the Yankees. Mel Allen called the Yankee games. He was really, really good, Mel Allen. And then Rizzuto helped him out a little bit.
You know what? With me, Mel Allen was the voice of This Week in Baseball.
Yeah, that's right.
How I grew up with Mel Allen in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and listen, and Bob Shepard, that voice.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's why Derek Jeter still wanted him to announce his name. And that
was pretty cool. That
was very cool. But I just a diehard Yankee fan.
I think it also gave opposing players a thrill to go to Yankee Stadium and hear Bob Shepard, announce that they're coming up to bat. I just think that, that's one of those iconic Yankee things, right? Yeah. Chris, right?
Oh, without a doubt. I'm sure some of those players that got a chance to hear their name said by Bob Shepard at Yankee Stadium, that there was nothing like it. There was nothing as good as, and I think what's the guy's name? I'm drawing a blank what the guy's name is that does Yankee Stadium now. He does a great job. I think his voice is great. I think he does he introduces everybody great, and he's awesome. But I mean, Bob Shepard is probably, just the voice of God, right? Didn't Reggie Jackson call him the voice of God?
Yes.
It might be.
Coming out of the
That
sky.
might be God's voice.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You know what I didn't like this year about the opening day was they were announcing, and all of a sudden you're hearing drum, boom, boom, boom. And you couldn't understand who they were, announcing. You know.
Yeah,
Too much
thanks to
music going
Netflix.
on.
Thanks to Netflix, that was
That too.
horrible,
Yeah.
right,
Oh,
Chris?
yep.
Yeah, the intro. It was just
I thought it was too.
baseball.
Yeah, I
the
really
thing is,
did.
like baseball is not like other sports. Like baseball is very simple, and I think most baseball fans like it that way. Like
Yes.
just if you're going to introduce the players, just introduce the players. Let them
Exactly.
on the lines. We don't need all the fireworks. We don't need all the
Cheerleaders.
Yeah, the taxi cab, and they had the trolley car on San Fran.
We don't want that.
Yeah, it was too much. It was just too much. I like it simply. Baseball is a very simple game. Like, let's keep it that way.
Yeah, and now, but they're not. That's what the problem is. They think this is how they're going to get the young kids to watch. So now they have cheerleaders on the dugouts, right, throughout the game. We don't want that. It's
Not at all. You want to go see a baseball game.
That's it. That's all I want to see. If I want to see all that other stuff, we'll go somewhere else to see that. But a baseball game,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
I want to see a baseball game.
And I was so happy because that must have been that Netflix had to have something to do with that to try to get the audience or whatever. Because let me tell you, the next day I'm like, I hope when they announce the guys at Citi Field, they don't do this same crap. And they didn't. They just announced it. Howie announced the lineups like the old time. And that's how I like it. I don't like when they run through smoke, they run through crap. It's like, who wants to watch that? I complain about that all the time, by the way, right, Chris?
Yep. I
It's
agree.
good for football, but not for baseball.
And
And you know what? It was at least the game telecast wasn't bad by Netflix. I think I thought they did a good job, but the pregame, it was just too much.
And Maria's right. Cheerleaders are for football. That's
exactly.
Exactly.
Give it to basketball too. They like their cheerleaders there too.
And that's why we like, Dan, when Anthony Savino comes on, we like to start him up with the different foods, because when we were kids, now there's so many food options at these games. It's like you could eat in gourmet restaurants at the game.
It's not just hot dogs and hamburgers anymore, right? Everything. Literally everything.
Get it. Oh my God.
It's crazy. Yeah, the other night we were talking about that the sombrero in Texas with the
yes.
and I said, and I was thinking about it some more. You could never have that in Citi Field or Yankee Stadium, because they would be spitting in it, they would be throwing stuff in it, the seagulls would be going to the bathroom in it. I mean, who's gonna, right? Never. The nachos. What kind of sauce is this? It's white. It's from the pigeons, and it's
is that sour cream, or is that?
It's disgusting. I mean,
right, it is.
Never.
You're better off eating in the bathroom.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So we actually got about 2. I know, that's a good one. We got about 2 minutes left. So, Chris, you want to ask Dan anything else before I do the final?
I think I got to ask him the question we ask all of our guests, right?
Yeah.
And I think, Dan, you are the best person to answer this question, because number one, you've watched the game the most of anybody we've spoken to. So you have the most knowledge about it. You've also watched our show the most, so you know everybody's answers. So you're prepared. So if you were named MLB commissioner today, what changes would you make to the game?
Well, first of all, the Ghost Runners is definitely gone. That's gone. And as commissioner, let's see, as something else I think I would definitely change. And I'm trying to think of it, guys. But it's the Ghost Runner.
Yeah, the Ghost Runner
is definitely gone.
Hey, that's good. Okay, so that's like the most popular answer. That's my answer.
It is. I see the games, and there they are running at second base. What the hell is this? What's going? The guy just hit a double. I said to my wife, "The guy just hit a double."
I know.
Where? I said no. I tell her, no, don't worry about it.
Well, listen, Dan, it's been so much fun having you
Oh,
on. Right?
thank you so much, guys. I
Great.
appreciate it. And Chris, go Yankees, huh? But,
Definitely, Dan.
but
All right,
I got
and we appreciate you, Dan, a lot. Thank you, Maria. Listen, Friday night, just as a reminder, we're back at 10 p.m. because it's baseball season. If we start at 9, we're not going to get the end of these games. So
yeah.
Right.
for baseball season, 10 p.m. So you guys got to stay up a
Hang in
little
with
later.
us.
Yeah. And
Sounds
we'll play
great.
baseball. But all right, that's it till Friday night. Once again, Dan, thanks. We had such a great time. You were great. And just that so you know, you had a pretty big audience out there.
Oh, thank you. That's
We had
good.
good numbers. So
Everybody
No, that's
was
good.
enjoying.
anyway,
And I want to thank you guys because
Oh,
you guys are fantastic.
thank
Yeah.
you. We
appreciate that,
appreciate
Dan.
you.
Yes.
Anyway, everybody, we will see you Friday night at 10 p.m. Have a good week.